The Galactic Council station drifted quietly above a dying red star. For centuries, it had watched over the borders of known space, but today the silence was broken. A strange signal appeared on the scanners, old, distorted yet powerful. The communication officers stared at their screens. The code pattern looked familiar but impossible. It was human. The chief officer, a tall alien with silver skin, froze. That language. It was deleted from the archive centuries ago, he whispered. The room filled with tension. Everyone remembered the stories, ancient tales about a race called humans, once feared across the stars for their courage and unpredictable nature. Alarms began to echo through the massive station. Commanders rushed into the main hall where the High Council gathered. Their holographic faces flickered, insectoid, reptilian, mechanical, all different yet all filled with the same emotion. Fear. Where did it come from? Asked one of them. Outer sector. Near the Forgotten Spiral, replied the officer. No colony, no traffic there for years. The council leader leaned forward. Activate emergency protocol. Notify all fleets. No ship enters that sector without command permission. But it was too late. The signal repeated, louder, stronger, filled with strange patterns that no alien AI could decode. Hidden inside the noise was a short message in an ancient Earth language. The translator struggled, then displayed the words across the screen. We are back. The room fell silent. Every council member stared at the message, their hearts heavy with a fear they had not felt in ages. The era of peace was over. Humanity had spoken again. The council chamber glowed dimly under the cold blue lights. 12 alien leaders sat around a massive circular table, each representing a powerful galactic empire. The air was heavy with silence. Only the soft hum of the starship engines filled the room. The message still hovered in the center of the hall. We are back. The council leader, an ancient being made of light and crystal, finally spoke. It cannot be real. Humanity was erased from the galactic maps 4 centuries ago. A deep-voiced reptilian general slammed his claws on the table. Erased or forgotten on purpose. You all remember what they did before the collapse. They fought the machines, the Dominion, even the void storms, and survived. The insectoid delegate hissed. They were chaotic, dangerous, they almost destroyed themselves. If they return, the balance of power will break again. A younger member, nervous and trembling, whispered, Then what do we do? The leader looked up. We investigate quietly. Moments later, the decision was made. A fleet of scout vessels would travel to the source of the signal. Their mission, find the truth and return with answers. No one outside the council must know. As the meeting ended, whispers filled the chamber. Some wanted peace, others wanted to strike first. But none could ignore the growing fear that echoed in every mind. What if humans had evolved beyond their limits? Far away in the darkness beyond known space, the same signal pulsed again, stronger, sharper, almost alive. The council's sensors recorded one final anomaly. A shadow moving behind the signal. Something vast and silent watching them in return. The investigation had begun, but humanity was already one step ahead. Far beyond the outer borders of the known galaxy, a blue planet floated in the calm darkness on Earth, once silent and forgotten, now alive again. Its skies shimmered with streaks of light as massive ships rose through the clouds, breaking through the atmosphere like silver arrows. Humanity had awakened. In an underground command center, General Marcus Hale watched the launch screens. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with purpose. It's time. The galaxy thinks we disappeared. Let them see what we've become. Around him, soldiers and scientists worked side by side. The air buzzed with energy and determination. For decades, Earth had rebuilt in secret. While the alien races believed humanity was extinct, they had united, learned, and evolved. Artificial intelligence, fusion energy, quantum drives, all perfected under one goal, to rise again. At the center of it all was the Terran Vanguard fleet, humanity's new symbol of power. Each ship carried a red emblem, a single burning star representing hope and vengeance. As the fleet prepared to depart, the command AI activated a secure channel. Signal detected from Council space, it said. They've noticed us. Marcus smiled slightly. Good. Let them notice. The first wave of ships entered hyperspace, leaving behind glowing trails that lit up the night sky. High above, Satellites picked up fragments of old council transmissions, words filled with panic and disbelief. For the first time in centuries, humanity was not hiding. They were returning to the stars, and stronger, smarter, and ready for what awaited them. The forgotten children of the galaxy were coming home, and this time, they were prepared to take their rightful place among the stars. The Council's scout fleet drifted through the silent edge of the spiral arm. Their ships moved cautiously, scanning every particle of space for clues. The human signal had led them here, to an empty void filled only with starlight and silence. But silence can hide many things. "Commander, energy spike detected," shouted a sensor officer. On the screen, a massive shadow appeared, long, metallic, and unlike any ship they had ever seen. It wasn't registered in any galactic database. It was human. The alien ships froze. Every weapon went online, every shield activated. Then through the dark, a calm voice echoed across all channels. "This is Captain Marcus Hale of the Terran Vanguard." "Identify yourselves." The Council commander hesitated. "This is the Council Expedition Fleet. We come in peace." Marcus's voice stayed steady but cold. "Peace? You watched us burn centuries ago. Now you come to observe what's left?" The commander tried to respond, but before he could, the human ship shifted position. Its surface glowed with strange blue light, forming symbols no alien could read. The energy readings were off the charts, power beyond Council technology. Suddenly, the human vessel transmitted another message, not in words, but in images, scenes of Earth rebuilding, uniting, rising again. Humanity's rebirth played out across the stars. The alien officers watched in awe. For the first time, they realized the truth. Humans had not just returned, they had evolved. The message ended with a final transmission. "We are not your enemy, but we are not your subjects either." Then the human ship vanished into hyperspace, leaving only silence behind. The Council fleet remained adrift, shaken. They had seen something impossible, and it had only just begun. The Council chamber was in chaos. News of the first contact spread like wildfire through the empires. Every leader had seen the human broadcast, their cities, their fleets, their power. Some called it a miracle. Others called it a threat. The Council leaders struck the table. "We cannot allow them to grow unchecked. If humanity truly has this power, they will challenge every empire in the galaxy." The insectoid delegate hissed. "They said they want peace." "Peace?" The reptilian general growled. "That's what they said before the old wars. And when we turned our backs, they conquered half the spiral arm. No, this time we strike first." A secret plan was set in motion. Under the cover of diplomacy, the Council's intelligence unit began tracking human transmissions. Fleets were quietly armed, weapons calibrated. Officially, they were monitoring. In truth, they were preparing for war, but the Council didn't know every message. Every encrypted order was already being intercepted. A human AI, hidden deep in the galactic network, had infiltrated their systems. It watched, learned, and waited. On the dark side of the moon Europa Prime, 2 Council agents met in secret. "The humans are too fast," one said nervously. "It's like they knew our moves before we made them." The other shook his head. "Then we must move faster." He stopped. His communicator blinked, static. Then a single line of text appeared across the device. "We already have." Both agents froze. Their systems shut down. Above them, a human probe drifted through the misty sky, recording everything. Back in the shadows of space, General Hale watched the Council fleets gathering. He smiled faintly. "Let them come," he whispered. "We're ready." The stars above the Council's homeworld shimmered quietly, hiding what was about to come. Across the galaxy, fleets of alien warships moved into formation. Thousands of vessels from 12 empires united by fear. They prepared to strike first, believing they could erase humanity before it rose again. But humanity was already there. High above the galactic rim, the void split open. Blue light flooded the darkness as hundreds of Terran ships emerged from hyperspace, silent, organized, unstoppable. The Terran Vanguard fleet surrounded the Council's armada before the aliens even realized it. Inside the command ship Aurora, General Marcus Hale stood before the holographic map. His voice was calm, steady, filled with resolve. "They wanted to see our strength. Let's show them who we are. The humans didn't fire first." They transmitted a message across all frequencies. clear, confident, and final. We come not for conquest, but for our place among the stars. Stand down, or be reminded why your ancestors feared us. The council ships hesitated. Their sensors couldn't lock onto the human fleet. The ships were cloaked in energy fields beyond comprehension. One by one, alien commanders began lowering their weapons. Some out of fear, some out of respect. Then the leader of the council finally spoke through trembling static. "What do you want, human?" Marcus looked into the stars and replied,